All right, what's going on, everybody? My name is Peter Del Tondo, and we are back today with another Adobe XD Daily Creative Challenge. Thanks so much for tuning in. And whoops, as I have the sound still on from the last stream as I was watching Andrew and crew. Thank you guys again for the emoji blasts. It always brings a smile to my day when we get greeted with something like that. So thank you all. We've got Sam and Andrew, Musab, Donna, Akin, thank you guys for being here today. And let's start jumping into some stuff. We've got a lot of things to cover today, and I have a feeling some of you are going to be ordering pizza tonight because it's just going to sound good after today. If you have not already, make sure you jump into the Adobe XD Discord. We are going to be going through all of your challenges from the Discord channel. Myself and the other mentors are jumping in, doing reviews of the challenges that you guys are completing. Make sure to give me a follow here on Behance on my personal page, behance.net/Peter Del Tondo. And every night I'm doing portfolio reviews. I'll tag you guys in them as we go through, trying to timestamp them so it's easy to follow, and we'll talk through and look at your projects and see how we can help. And so if you have not already, make sure you come on over to behance.net/challenge/XD. There'll be a link in the Discord here as well. But this is going to be where you can catch up if you're behind at all, and tune in to the different challenges that we've done, replay those videos, and get the starter files. By the way, we did have a hiccup in today's starter file, my mistake, that had old information from a previous challenge series. So make sure that you get the updated file. I also dropped it in the challenge channel in Discord too. So not a big deal, but the instructions will be slightly different. So without further ado, one quick thing here in Discord, the current challenge channel is where we're going to live and breathe through this challenge. Make sure to post your work in there. We got through all of the challenges that have been submitted yesterday on last night's stream, so make sure that you guys jump in there. And Akin, thanks about making me realize that I was being on the streams too much, even though I don't work now. I need to use my time efficiently. Well, hey, we always enjoy your company here. Thank you guys for jumping in. And if you happen to join in on one of the evening streams, let me know if you're there. And let's hop in the Discord channel. Come join me on the stream, and we'll chat through your project, and we'll go a little deeper into it. So take advantage of that. It's an awesome opportunity to chat with myself and maybe some other mentors too. Okay, so let's take a look at today. Today we are going to be designing a web experience for ordering pizza and customizing the toppings. And what we're going to try to do is cover one of the basics here of XD, where we're going to test out one of the newer features that got released in the last couple months, I believe, and that is utilizing anchor links. So there's really powerful features with this, being able, again, to prototype your designs. And this is, to me, where XD just really shines in the software department, where you can take your design from start to finish and prototype something that we can simulate what a real world experience would be without having to go through the cost or the time of developing it. So it's great to test out ideas, see what can be built, show it to a developer, and explain what you're looking for. And when you get to pass off your design to a client or a stakeholder, it makes the world of difference being able to do that. So without further ado, let's take a look at some inspiration for this. So I pulled a couple of things here. I believe this is from Domino's. And so we take a look, and what I'm trying to understand are what are some of the main things that might be needed through this process. So you just want to do some research in your projects. And we know we want to cover things like what's the size, what's the crust type, is there a sauce or toppings or sides, and just start to get a sense of how these apps or web apps operate, because you do want to try to be innovative and change and improve on things, but there's a lot to be learned from people, the good and the bad of what they've done. So make sure you take the time and look into that stuff. And I am by no means saying that Domino's has this down, but it's good to go check out stuff like this. Functionally, there's a lot of good things here. And we could just check out other stuff. I mean, we could get really crazy and do some cool things like in this concept design where you select these items and it could even give like a 3D or photo rendering of something that's much more complicated. But we can take a look at Again, lots of different ways to solve this. Maybe it's illustration, maybe it's photography. Play around with stuff, see what might work for you guys. Some of these things, again, might be really clean. They might not be the most functional. So always balance that functionality versus the aesthetic. If it doesn't function, you're up a creek without a paddle anyways. And Donna, I haven't used XD, but now I'm starting to use it a lot, and it's a ton of fun. That's awesome. And I'm glad hopefully these streams have been able to introduce it to you and get to know that a little bit more. And then real quick, I haven't covered this before, but we always put in some resources in these files that we find really helpful. So things like fonts, plugins, we've got some links to some great icon suites and whatnot. Always utilize these in combination with Adobe stock, but just some stuff to help get you started. All right, so let's come up here, and I've got a few things kind of prepared. So today we are going to be designing something in honor of my pal Scotty Russell. If you haven't before, go check out his podcast, the Perspective Collective podcast. It's fantastic. He's super motivational and just an all-around good dude. And man, does that kid love pizza. I think his kids are like his little pizza rolls or something. So anyways, this Scotty is in honor of you. So thanks for being an awesome dude and giving inspiration to everybody. So we have Scotty's Pizza today. And I've just kind of created this quick menu up here. And what I've done too is I have grouped these items in. And what I want to do is at the top here, I'm going to click Fix Position when scrolling. And when I go to my artboard too, I'm going to say scrolling, and I'm going to go to vertical. And I'm going to set a height here. You can do whatever you want. Generally, this is somewhere between about 700 to 800, 850 tops. That's a good kind of balance when you factor in, say, like Chrome or Firefox. You know, they've got their search bar and navigation stuff up top, and then the actual site content. On a 15-inch MacBook Pro, it's roughly going to be in that realm. So that's kind of what we are looking for in terms of space and whatnot. So I'm going to set it here at 800. Now, I want to set up a couple of things, and one is going to be, I want to set the backdrop here. Let's just go with something dark. We'll go just slightly off black. I think that would be cool for this. And I'm going to grab a pizza preview, and I'm going to put that over here. Now, food tends to look better on a lighter background, and so one of the things I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a little backdrop here. We'll send this to the back. All right, and now that works there. Okay, fantastic. Now there's a couple of things that I know we're going to want to have, and you know that's going to include some stuff like this. Which, did I pull the wrong? Oh, I did. We'll cheat a second. Hang on, I need a couple of my assets. I thought I pulled those ones over. Okay, so we've got a couple of things here that I'm going to drag over. And so we know we're going to need things like, what's the size of my pizza? So I want to think through what are the different interactions that I want to have. And so we'll start off with something like size. Then let's come down here and let's do something like crust. And for this, let's do like a button style. So we could maybe do something along these lines. We'll grab our red color. And let's do original. Just want to round these off slightly. Give it a little bit of a friendlier look there. Perfect. Okay. So we've got this, and I'll play with these sizings and stuff later. We're just going to move quickly because of time here on the stream. And then we'll add a couple of more items. So we've got like hand tossed. Let's do thin, and we'll go from there. The New York Italian in me is wanting to get very specific with this, but we'll keep it simple today. All right. And let's see what else. We said sauces as well. So you know what? I can just come down here and always work smarter, not harder. I know that this is going to be very similar in structure. So I'm going to grab these and I'm going to say sauce. And then we'll go marinara. We'll extend that out a little bit. We'll move these over just a scotch. And we'll do like Alfredo, like a white sauce. Let's do white. And pesto. Cool. And yeah, I mean, I like going with the black background colors here, just from like a brand standpoint. But again, I like the food's gonna look a whole lot better and more appetizing when it's on the white background rather than the dark background, because that's why people like clean white plates. So just, you know, things like that that you want to think through as you're designing for this stuff. And then Amna's asking any recommended fonts for food related UI. It all depends. What kind of cuisine is it? Is going to play in, you know, if you're looking at things like Asian cuisine, Spanish cuisine, Italian, whatever it might be, that might have an impact. Same thing with color. So think through those things, and you can play around with what's best. I do recommend generally like a sans serif type for your body or information copy in general web apps is going to be most easy to read. So just things to think about as you go through there. All right, so we've got our sauce. This one's going to take a little bit more time, so I'll bring these over. But what I've done is I've created some components to show different states of, and we talked about states in the last video or two, where I've got like left, right, if I want to show that both is being filled. And so I've created these to showcase if I want to select different toppings and I want them to go on the left or to the right. You can do a lot of cool things to set that up. And I've also grabbed some stuff from Adobe stock and just grabbed, you know, like some sausage, some pepperoni, and want to do, you know, again, kind of mocking up what that looks like here. So I'm going to grab these since this is going to take me a hot minute to create. Okay, I'm gonna line those up. So now I've got my toppings, and again, you can see that I have selected pepperoni and sausage, and I have not selected these other items. Then we are gonna come down here and let's see our next section. Let's do maybe like sides. And I know that those items above, because I use that 8-pixel grid system, are gonna be 32 pixels. So, whoops. 32, bring that back up. I'm gonna give this that white border for that selected state, and I'll just grab one of these texts. I'll pull this down, and we'll say breadsticks. Yeah, I don't know about you all, but when I design stuff for like food UIs or, you know, any kind of like delivery app or whatnot, that's all I want is like ramen or sushi or pizza that night. I get ridiculously hungry. I want some chicken wings. That's what we want tonight. All right. I was just telling a story about some lemon pepper chicken wings. That's where it's at. We're not just wings. It's lemon pepper chicken wings. All right, so we've got our sides here, and we got to figure out where are we going to deliver this to. So again, I'm going to pull this down, and we'll do delivery. And let's see, Cornell's asking on white backgrounds. Oh, you're responding. We can apply a drop shadow to make items stand out. How would we do that on black backgrounds? You know what? I didn't have this in my design, but I'll show you what I would do for that. To keep it simple. And what I would do, let me just copy this text. We're going to deliver this to the fine folks at Adobe, even though I know they're not in the office right now. But I feel like they could just use a good slice of pizza right now. But what I might do for a dark background like this is I might actually just create a very slight border on these items, and I'd probably keep it consistent, you know, something that goes all the way across. And again, I soften this up, so maybe it's 4. And then what I would do is I would just bring this opacity down. Like I want it to be very subtle, but something like that now helps this information to kind of be blocked out. And I could do this for each of these different sections. And that just I actually really like where we're going with that. That just gives everything a little bit more breathing room. Oops. Yeah, I dig that. So, you know, everything doesn't need to be a shadow. You could cheat it with some other styles, but you know, uh, play around. I'm getting more and more away from using shadows in my designs. I feel like that's a trend that's kind of starting to make the opposite end of that bell curve. So you know, go back to some simplistic stuff. Shadows don't always show up on all monitors depending on the quality. So that's one of the reasons that I don't like being reliant on that, because if you are relying on that shadow to make information pop off, a lot of people that don't have great quality screens can't see it. So I actually have a really nice ultra wide monitor in front of me that I design on, and I intentionally have a pretty crappy secondary monitor over here to my left. And the reason that I don't go and spring for something better in quality is I like having that extra monitor that's a little bit more realistic to what maybe a lot of people in a more corporate office setting might have, because it allows me to see how the colors may shift, how the quality difference is. And so it's nice being able to determine that, because I've designed a lot of things that look gorgeous on my main monitor and it doesn't translate and carry over at all. So little things to keep in mind. But I like where we're going with this little divider, so we'll keep that on here for now. All right, let's keep going. We need to be able to edit if we are going to do a delivery there. So we'll just do edit down here, and I'm going to change that text. All right, good enough. And then let's lastly do something like this, and we will do price, or we can say checkout, or confirm order is maybe confirm order. And in here we'll say 1 times large pizza, and then we could do a price for that. We'll say it's San Francisco, so it's probably like what, $65. We'll just do that. Just messing with you all. And then let's see, we come down, and I see Evan is in chat. Evan is one of my teammates over at Unfold. He is not just an amazing human being, but he helps me out with these challenges and is a wealth of information. So make sure to show that guy some love too, and go check out some of his work and projects. All right, and then we said let's do some lemon pepper wings. Like I really want wings. I'm doing nachos tonight, but I want those wings. All right, so we'll select that, and we'll do 1 times lemon pepper chicken wings. And because like wings are like $1 a piece down here, let's say that those are, we'll get 12, so that's probably like $24. All right, so let's make this artboard actually just a little bit bigger. How are we doing on time? We're good. Okay. And we'll do a total. And I wish I had my calculator app from yesterday. We'll do 65 plus 24, $89. Okay. $89. I don't know about the rest of you. Part of, no joke, my decision to go to design school was I was tired of taking math classes. And I love the fact that I got to take only design classes and be done with that. So I rely on that calculator more than I would like to admit. All right. And then let's do order now. Place that in here. And we actually did kind of a button style. Let's just steal that, because work smarter, not harder. We're gonna work hard, but we can do it smartly along the way. All right. Order now. All right. And there's lots of other stuff to consider with this app as well. Like we would want to do things like what time do we want to purchase this? When does it arrive? You know, things like that. But more or less, we've got the foundational elements here, excuse me, for what we're going to show and talk about today. So I'm going to move a couple of these items up just so we have these and some of the other sections for consistency. And I'm going to try to get rid of my OCD to make this all perfect. And let's just get this done and show you guys how we are going to anchor link this up. Okay. And fonts we are using today are Acumen Pro, and up here Mascot MVB, which I believe are all on Adobe fonts. So make sure to go check those out. All right. Do that sauce. And again, I realize that this stuff isn't going to be precise, but we're moving quick. We don't have a lot of time on these streams. So good enough. I forget who says that. That's like a thing in a show that I watch. All right. Okay. So now let's space this stuff out. Just kind of space out evenly. Let's space it out a little bit more. Actually, that's good enough. I have a couple minutes left. So now the sections that I have with this that I need to make sure that I account for. Let's grab this text here one more time. And we are going to create, actually, let's grab this once more. Okay, I'm going to remove this, and I'm just going to set up kind of like some pinned buttons down here that are going to act like anchor links for us. So here we've got stuff like, what was it, size. Change this to center line so I don't have to keep changing that. All right, I think we've got all 6 sections, 5 sections. Okay, we'll order those in a second, but we've got crust, we've got toppings, we've got sides, delivery, and checkout. Okay, so we'll just do a quick alignment check on these. All right, great. So what I've set up now is we've set this, remember in the beginning, we set vertical height of this viewport at 800. And we are going to grab actually this whole area here. I'm going to group it and I'm going to fix position while scrolling, just the same as we did for this item up here. What's going to happen now if we go into our mode is, as you can see, it's set to fold. So now when I look at this, it's going to, as I scroll, actually this needs to come to the foreground. My bad. Range, bring it front. This now is going to scroll behind. And so we get to kind of simulate what that whole thing looks like. But here's where we're going to get into the main lesson for today. So I'm going to come in here into prototype mode, and I'm just going to drag this into these sections. And so I can set this here. I'll do it to the whole background element. And it's going to say scroll to. It's going to go to that section. And I might make this a little bit longer just again to make this a little bit more pronounced. And then we'll go to the crust section. And I'm going to keep doing this for each and every one of these. And yes, I realize my grids are slightly off there, but that background is close enough. I messed one up. Oh, I forgot sauce. That's my bad. Okay. We'll fix that afterwards. We'll go down to delivery. Okay, and so now when we come back over to our prototype, let me move this up here so that doesn't conflict. Okay, now when I check this out, let's just say I'm down at the bottom and I go, oh shoot, you know what? I want to order a different size pizza. When I click on this, it'll move me back up to that section. And now if you notice, when I clicked it, you see how it kind of hid behind? So it's pulling it up to the top area. And so what I might actually recommend you do is kind of create like a phantom zone. And we're just going to set this to be the same color. And now when I go back into prototype, I'm just going to move this and I'm going to cheat it. And I'm going to go a little bit taller than what we actually need. And now when I click on those, you see how, oh, I have that in the front. So I'll fix that, but you see how it brought us to the right spot. And so now I can see that. And so what this is really cool, and where I want to see you guys apply this in your designs, is that you can create these sections and immediately skip to different areas in your design. And so it's a really cool feature to be able to prototype this out. It's just, these are the little details and fine things, but to me, this is what takes Adobe XD beyond a design tool and into a true prototyping tool. With that, I think we're going to be wrapping up for the day, and I am going to end on time today. So make sure that you submit your challenges over in the Adobe XD Discord. Thank you guys. Make sure you tag myself and the other mentors, and we'll be going through the reviews of these. Thank you all so much for joining me this week, and make sure you stick around. We'll be back with some more content today, as well as we'll be back on the streams all week next week. So everybody stay safe, have a nice weekend, and we'll see you soon.